Are you sick and tired of gambling your hard-earned money on Madden and 2K packs? Well, look no further than my sponsor, MMOEXP, for the cheapest and most reliable Madden and 2K coins on the market. And of course, do not forget to use code Ferdy for 5% off. A link for their website is at the top of the description. Today, we are ranking all of the most feared cards that are coming out later today or might be out already while you're watching this video, but we already have some cards on here. We have the monster cards, the Chase Claypool and the 6'2 Rasul Douglas. Chase Claypool, 89 speed, doesn't hit a route running threshold, should be pretty good after the catch, good size, should be a decent receiver option. I mean, we have 90 speed receivers, we had the 89 speed, Crabtree came out a while ago, so 89 speed isn't super top tier and might phase out pretty quick. But Claypool, good size. If you have a Steelers team, definitely go after that card. We have some heroes on here. Aiden Hutchinson, a good option for edge rusher. Should have 2 of 3 traits, as well as having 89 finesse moves. We have Roquan, 87 speed with 1 AP lurker. We have 85 speed Mike Gesicki. Garrett Bowles, a good option if you do need a tackle and you're doing, one of the champion sets. Same thing with Aiden Hutchinson. We have some pretty decent budget 87s in this part of the promo too, with CJ Gardner-Johnson. Let me see that speed. I believe CJ Gardner-Johnson has 88 speed. Let me check on that. And yes, 88 speed at an 87 overall is pretty solid for the free safety position. And then Bud Dupree is also really good because he has 86 speed and also hits a threshold at 90 power move, which is really impressive and very rare to find this early in the year on an 87 overall. But let's get started with another 87, and let's start talking about the Marquis Hollywood Brown card. So first off, Hollywood Brown has a pretty good card art, I would say. 90 speed with 90 deep route running. This is more for budget, but I definitely, the reason why I don't think I can put him at A tier is because of his height. He isn't tall enough, but budget, 90 speed receiver, I think definitely does deserve him B tier. I'm going to throw him in front, maybe not in front of Garrett Bowles, but I think if you look at the position for his price tag and what the card should be able to do, especially hitting that deep route running threshold, his height is the one thing holding him back, but should be a pretty solid card. So Marquis Brown at B tier. And next up, we have the monster Ezekiel Elliott. Just like Claypool, just like Rasul Douglas, you're going to have to kind of slowly upgrade this card. And they did mention it on the stream. This card is going to have 89 speed. At 86 speed, he probably would have been a D tier card. But with 89 speed and, how Zeke cards play, I'm not sure if it's going to boost anything else on this card. But 89 speed with these stats, I think it does still put Zeke into that A tier conversation. I think without question, you got to have Zeke up here. We'll throw him, I would say, in front of Hutchinson. I mean, 89 speed Zeke with good acceleration, good size, usually a pretty good weight, gets good animations, very consistent all around. I believe he does get 1 AP jukebox as well. I could be wrong on that, but I'm 90% sure he does. So really solid card. I think definitely a good monster card to grind. And now we have another monster card, and that is the Devin White. 1 AP lurker, 89 speed, 88 acceleration, good zone, good play rec, good tackling. I think if you don't need any of the other positions that the heroes, or not the heroes, the monsters cover, whether it's corner or wide receiver like Chase Claypool or running back on Ezekiel Elliott, you might as well just, if you have to pick one, go with Devin White. 1 AP lurker. If you get stuck in a formation, say maybe you don't use linebackers as much, you get stuck in a formation where you got to use a linebacker, Devin White's going to be a good option to go for there. And also, if you do use linebackers, Devin White is also a good option with the 1 AP lurker and pretty top tier. If we look, that's pretty top tier speed for middle linebackers. If we go, I don't know why I'm diving so deep into the middle linebackers here, but if we go position, middle linebacker, he's one of the faster ones, and he's gonna get the 1 AP lurker. So if you're a middle linebacker user, kind of guy, and if we look at his previous card, the previous Devin White card, we should get a pretty good idea on what his agility is gonna be. It'll probably be 82, 83 agility. So that's pretty good, with also maybe 80, somewhere mid to low 80s in speed and COD and agility, which should be pretty good for a user, as well as having that 1 AP lurker. I think that does put him at A tier. I would value him basically the same as Zeke, maybe, but he's better among, if you look at him compared to the other middle linebackers in the game, he's better than what Zeke is compared to the rest of the running backs in the game, if that makes sense. So I might put Devin White just a little bit ahead of Zeke. Next man up is Shaq Griffin. 6 foot, 198 pounds on his card that's already in the game. So He's going to be that 6 foot, 198. If you are someone that likes playing that zone coverage, 91 zone is really nice if you have the strat card as well. 95 zone on a Seattle and a Jaguars team. 90 speed, good size, good zone. You're playing man, maybe not the guy to go after. But again, as a BND option, if you are going to be doing one of the champion sets, this is another really good option. He's not undersized, has good enough speed, and I would say he does kind of compare to like Ezekiel Elliott, Devin White at his position, you know, cornerback. He's kind of in that high, like A-tier situation, kind of the same way Zeke. And I guess Devin White's more of a top-tier linebacker in the game, so I guess more like an Ezekiel Elliott to the cornerback position. So pretty solid, especially if you are a zone coverage guy. And next up, we have the 90 overall Deebo Samuel. As of recording this right now, we're not sure. I'm not sure. I mean, most likely if you're watching this, you do know what his ball carrier stats are. But regardless of what the ball carrier stats are, they're not going to make me change to where I put this card. They're not. Hitting no thresholds. 89 speed. He isn't over 6 foot either. If we look at his, previous card, if we go over here, we go Deebo. He's not over 6 foot, 5'11". He's close. He should be good after the catch based off what this card has. Good break tackle, good juke. That's really all that matters. Hopefully that carrying is able to hit 70. But yeah, for what this card is, I don't think he's A tier. I'll put him at high B tier. 89 speed. He's kind of, I'd see him in the same light as I would see Rasul Douglas compared to the rest of the corners in the game. Rasul 88 speed, 6'2", which is not the fastest, but has good size. Deebo, 89 speed isn't awful if you have, a Niners team, but also a little bit undersized and not hitting a threshold, I think does put him in this high, you can maybe debate mid B tier. He's definitely better than Marquis, I would say. Maybe not definitely. You might be able to see debate for Marquis over Deebo even, because Marquis hits a route running threshold and has better speed, but again, Marquis is a little bit smaller, so it is up to debate, obviously. So let's get into the next card. And our next card is the LTD Stefan Gilmore. Yes, Stefan Gilmore has already got another upgrade this year. It's his LTD, 92 speed, making him the fastest corner in the game. I do think he's got a real shot to be the best corner in the game. I really do. Yes, everyone's going to have Stefan Gilmore, and then you might be getting, sick of him or whatever. But this card's going to play super well. His 89 still plays very well for me, and he's super outdated. Well, not super outdated. He's getting outdated. So, yeah, W if you have one of his theme teams, but I kind of a weird card to upgrade. I feel like there's a lot of corners that also could have got this card. That would have been fine, but, he's been balling in real life. I don't know. This upgrade doesn't make sense to me, but it's still a really good card. I'm not going to knock him because he already has a good card in the game. He's definitely S tier. And, yeah, I think he's got a real shot to be that number one corner right now. It's either him or Woodson, but I think it might honestly be Stefan Gilmore. The next man up is a man that was in Madden 21, wasn't in the game last year, but is back this year, and it's a problem because, if you look at the previous Maddens, Madden 21 wasn't an ad catch meta. It wasn't. This year, ad catch meta. Madden 20 was an ad catch meta. So him not being in, if he wasn't in Madden 20, he wasn't in the game yet this year, but we now have a 6'8", yes, you heard me correctly, 6'8", 90 speed wide receiver, putting him one speed behind the fastest receivers in the game, hitting one threshold, getting one AP red zone threat. This card's going to be a monster. Is he the best wide receiver in the game? If you're good at ad catching, he is. But, there's Calvin, who you might be able to debate over him with some good abilities and stuff. 6'5" with better speed, hitting some thresholds, some more route running thresholds, but still, 6'8" is just different at that receiver position. So, and also the one AP red zone threat. I'm gonna put Carmichael up here in front of Gilmore. We need a corner that can guard him. We do. Maybe like the only option I think is gonna be out of position. I really do. That's the only way we can get a 6'8" or 6'7" or even 6'5" corner. Because we know golden tickets ain't coming, so our only hope is out of position, or else we're just gonna be getting dunked on by Calvin, by Brandon Marshall, by Plexico, and of course 6'8" Harold Carmichael with one AP red zone threat is stupid. The next man up is the 92 overall strong safety Derwin James, and you're kind of seeing a common theme on all these 92s. They are, if not number one, top 2 or 3 at their position. So even Stefan Gilmore, but 91 speed, 91 acceleration on Derwin James, can play man, can play zone, has good size as well. If we look at his card, like here's the the strong safety landscape. Only Nolan Cromell has 91 speed. He's kind of going to be similar to that card, but he's actually bigger than that card. And also should be better against the run than this card as well. If we look at Derwin's card, I ran Derwin's card earlier this year and he was really good. 6'2", 215, kind of like a linebacker that can play safety. And right now you can legitimately have this guy play over the top, can play coverage, can play your slot corner, can really put him anywhere on your defense, and he's going to be a difference maker for sure. So yeah, Derwin James, I might, like, it's hard to put a card over Carmichael on this. It really is. It really is, but Derwin is close. Derwin is definitely close because he is just can do everything. You add him to your defense and they get immediately better. Immediately. But the same goes for a lot of these cards, to be fair. And next up, we have what is kind of a, copy and paste to last year's most feared 92 overall Derrick Henry. Card's going to be very good. He's not the fastest in the game. We have Dickerson and Derwin James. But his weight, 247, he weighs, 27, 30 almost pounds more than Derwin James. So if you like having that heavy back, he's going to be a monster. If you're still using a guy like Jerome Bettis, this is going to be a big upgrade for you. The weight's going to be crazy. The weight's going to be crazy on this card. And this year, his agility and COD are a little bit more down the earth than what they were last year. But the acceleration's there. Usually the acceleration's also a little bit lower too. Last year, they really juiced Derrick Henry cards, but good carrying, good break tackle, 1 AP bruiser. You guys actually can't see, but 247. And if we look at the running back landscape, he is 1 speed slower than the fastest guys, but it's the weight. Because look, Dickerson, he's 220, 6'3". Derwin James, he's 219, 6'2". So Derrick Henry has a very large weight advantage and just a 1 speed differential, which is going to put Derrick Henry in that top tier running back easily, easily top 3. Might be able to bet him even higher than that. So we're going to throw Derrick Henry at low S tier. Super nice card, but, Gilmore, probably the best corner in the game. Derwin James, probably one of the best safeties in the game. Carmichael, probably one of the best receivers in the game. This is pretty good company up here at S tier, especially in a big promo like Most Feared. And finally, last but not least, we have Julius Peppers back in the game. This card looks beautiful. He's going to get overlooked because, these names are in the promo. You hear Carmichael, Derrick Henry. There's some pretty big names in this promo. But 88 speed, 89 acceleration. And I feel like EA's always done this where they just, give defensive linemen like the same speed as receivers, which isn't like, sure, there's a couple unicorns like Micah Parsons in real life, but it makes the game feel weird when you have these defensive linemen running with, he's 1 speed slower than Deebo Samuel, which is crazy to me. But should have good traits. Obviously, right now we don't know the traits. Should have good traits. I'd imagine they're not going to cheat this card. At least 2 out of 3, if not 3 out of 3. But good power move, good finesse move, good tackling, good block shake, good play rate. Just based off these, 8 stats, you can tell this card's going to be a beast. The edge threat on this card, the animations, the size, this card's going to be nasty. So, Julius Peppers, we're going to throw him up here in front of Derrick Henry. And that is the most feared tier list. If you did enjoy today's video, drop a comment down below. If I missed anything, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you are new here, and be on the lookout for the gameplays coming out later today. But yeah, overall most feared, a super good promo, super good drops. While I'm recording this, we obviously don't know how the cards are going to get rolled out, what their prices are going to be, stuff like that. Hopefully it all goes smoothly. And as always, I will see you boys in the next one.